Welcome to my Sing HKTW channel. My name is Kyle and I have a friend with me, an e-scoot friend. Introduce yourself.
My name is Rachel. I'm using a 72-volt Fido currently, and my previous scooting will be Speedway 4 OEM.
Speedway 4, oh okay.
Yeah.
The standing type.
Yeah, the standing type.
Okay. And then maybe you'd like to share, how do we get to know one another?
We know each other from Chai Chi Junction. Yeah, it's
Traffic junction.
yeah, it's a traffic junction. Yeah.
It's an acquaintance kind of friendly, hi and acknowledge one another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, so this is a good example that, you know, on the road we can still meet new friends, make new friends,
Yeah.
and of course not enemies, because I do believe that some, okay, to be honest, not all, some riders, they actually are quite showing off, so they're trying, like, you know, you go so slow, they will like, so slow, yeah.
It's judgmental. It's kind of judgmental.
Yeah. And that's the reason why today our topic is we're talking about e-scooter. So that's something I want to share with you what I have encountered so far. You know, previously when I purchased my e-scooter, right? Okay, this is actually a gift from my grandfather. So I value this a lot. And then there was one time when I was riding this along Seaway Road beside Melbourne Park Condo, the PCN there. Okay, I was like going at a very slow speed. And then from behind there was this is it those something like your type of scooter, but it's another brand, the smaller version. I can't think of the brand.
Oh, DYU, is it?
DYU, yeah, DYU.
DYU.
Yeah, DYU. That guy was actually riding together with so-called his girlfriend lah, I assume and presume. So they purposely overtake me on my ride and maintaining the same pace as me, and then they just say, so slow. They really said that, so slow. With the jet side, it's so slow. Then after they say so slow, right, they just speed off right in front of me and overtake me on the same lane as me. And within that 5 seconds, right, you know what happened next?
What happened?
This is a real case. Both of them actually flung off from their e-scooter onto the grass bushes. Like this kind of bushes. Yeah.
Oh, they really flung out.
They really flung out.
I see.
Then out of good view, right, what I did was I purposely stopped beside them and asked them, you guys okay? Yeah, trying to
Okay, so
make them feel guilty lah when they jeer at me for riding so slow.
wait, so were you feeling what were you feeling when they mentioned about it?
At first I was like thinking, what is there to show off when you're riding so fast? So what has it got to do with when I'm riding so slow? I'm not obstructing their way. They just purposely overtake and say so slow, and then wow, right in my eyes they just plunk onto the bushes. But of course, I tried not to be so mean. I still purposely stopped beside them and said, do you guys need help? Then they felt very guilty and paiseh lah because what they did to me just now. Then after I said no, then I just went off. And then yeah, the second incident was I was on this SBS bus. Yeah, opposite Tampines Library. When the bus, I was on bus 38. So when the bus turned out from bus interchange, the first bus stop was opposite Tampines Library. So I happened to see one young boy using the DYU as well. Instead of going on the left lane, right, he was like parking his DYU, riding on his DYU on my right hand side of the bus lane, the right hand lane of the the traffic road. Yeah, with a lot of cars, and the time was actually about 10 PM. 10
PM.
He was just arriving there. Then everyone, on the bus turned and look at him, shaking head. Wow, this boy really, he's still a very yaya, stuck in between there, like checking, go off, in a way. Then I was thinking, we spend so much money on our e-scooter, right? It's not cheap, like 1,000 plus above, right?
Yeah, at least 1,000 plus above.
Yeah. So why not use it cautiously? So I mean, if you use it cautiously, we still can have a lot of days to enjoy for fun, right? I mean, if you use it recklessly, right, you will not be able to see the next day dawn.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and then the last incident I want to share with you was at Tampines Street 42, the PCN there. Okay, nowadays we have PCN for bicycles, e-scooter, and then half of it is for pedestrian walkway.
Half of it was, pedestrian walkway, yeah.
Okay, so previously they were talking about e-scooter and bicycle riders to use on PCN, for think we have to be fair to everyone, not just to the PMDs riders. We have to be fair to the PMDs riders also. Some pedestrians actually use the bicycle PCN walkway instead of the pedestrian footpath. Some of them. You know why I say that? Because when I was riding on the PCN, this pedestrian was walking right in front of me.
On bicycle lane, right?
Yeah, he was walking on the bicycle lane.
What I feel is that they might feel like the pedestrian way is much more inconvenient for them.
Yeah, in a way. But then you know what happened to that guy was, he actually said to me, hello, how can you ride on the pedestrian walkway? Then I said, uncle, look on the ground. It's the PCN. Then I said, you are walking on the PCN. You are not walking on the pedestrian walkway. Then he felt very paiseh and kept quiet. Then he walked off. Yeah, I mean, you have to be fair lah. I mean, now they have this PCN. You know, I mean, everyone has to play a part. You know, for safety precautions, stuff like that. Yeah. Then, what other encounters have you faced before?
What encounters? So far, there's 2 incidents I ever have. The first one will be the traffic. The traffic one where I was riding, you know, like those pedestrians before the ban on riding on the pathway, you know. Yeah. And I was riding. I was about to cross the traffic, and before that I need to go through the traffic pedestrian, right? And when I want to pass through, right, there's this car speeding. It was speeding very fast for turning. Then I was like, I wonder what will happen if I get hit. Because right, the rules state there, right, the pedestrian, right, you're supposed to let the others go first before the car go. Yes. There's the rules. And some more,
the car was speeding.
Yeah, the car was speeding, and I was like,
you were on the pedestrian.
Yes, and halfway I was in the middle of the pedestrian, right? He stopped. He stopped and he horned at me. He asked me, watch my way and everything. It's like, so there where I start to argue with him. So I asked him, you're supposed to stop first, you are not supposed to stop because right, pedestrian go first. Before the car go first. You know, so right, I was like, so they think that I was in the fault lah. Yeah, I asked him, how about we make a deal, call police and ask the police to come down and they will explain who is at the fault. And I said, right, if you want to call police, right, just call ahead. I was not the one that will get the case because right, you will get your merit points. So that's one of the cases. And this guy start to say, okay, I will call the police and start to take video or take picture of me. So I do the same as him. But end up he just go off. Yeah, I was like, okay, never mind, it's okay. So I think the case was settled. For me, I just go over.
But nowadays you can rest assured, they still have like, you know, those street lamps, the lamp posts. They still have the CCTV around the street lamps there.
Oh yeah.
They still have. Some drivers, they are unaware. So since you're talking about this driving, right, between cars and pedestrian, right, so there's something I would like to share at the same time. Okay, especially for those PMDs riders who actually also holds a valid class 2 or class 3 driving license. So if you apply the same techniques of holding your valid class 2 or class 3 license while riding on the PCN, right, using the same license technique, keep a safety distance, everything will go well. You won't make accident with one another. I mean, for those PMDs riders who doesn't hold any valid class 2 or class B driving license, right, obviously they will not know the right and wrong between, you know, the wrong between what's right, what's wrong, which way are you supposed to go, how are you supposed to go, you know, keep a safety distance, you know, if you're going slow, you keep on the left lane, you want to overtake on the right lane, and of course you don't go anti-direction of the incoming traffic.
But you want to do that, you have to communicate. Most important is to let the person know. We know, right, they have no conclusion. Actually, you know, previously we have this so-called the case, you know, ever since so many PMDs riders, I mean so many PMDs like E-Scooter caught fire at housing estate, stuff like that. And then they came out with this kind of practice. They said that maybe next time they will need all PMDs riders to go for like training courses, you know, like or license.
License, like you know, going for basic theory.
Above 16, right? Above 16.
Yeah.
I know.
So to me personally, I find that It's good because you also get to learn
Yes.
the right traffic rules at the same time.
Yes,
It
it's,
benefits you. There's nothing to lose.
that is really good,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's relevant if you're irrelevant if you're not taking it. You know, like
Yeah.
you're not practicing it, so
Yes.
you don't have the habit to use them. So it's like, what's the point if you take license if you're not
Using it correctly.
Yeah, so it's the same thing as you're speeding and you still hit the person, so you still have fault.
Yeah.
Right.
So what do you think? So is it advisable or not advisable for them to go on this course?
For me, I would say half, but you see, it's kind of unfair. How the PMD, right? It straight get banned after there's many deaths happen, right? You know, right, for cars, right? And why is the car not banned?
Like I mentioned earlier, right? Personally, I am holding a valid Class 3 driving license. So most of the time when I'm using my e-scoot on PCN, I also applied the same techniques how I got my license on PCN as well. Keep a safety distance, stuff like that. Especially nowadays when we have this Covid-19 issue going around. So best is to keep a safety distance when you ride on PCN. You wouldn't know. Anyone can just happen to sneeze or cough right in front of you or beside you, So ride safely at a safety distance.
Maybe wear a mask while riding.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
safety precaution.
The reason why I'm sharing this is because to me having this holding a valid driving license, right, I realized it does help to maintain your own safety when you know the traffic rules and regulation when you ride on PCN. Not stay riding on the road. So of course we cannot ride on the road. We can only ride on PCN. Yeah, and recently when a lot of PMDs caught fire at home, stuff like that, then a lot of accidents arise, like on PMDs riders knocking over people or stuff like that, right? So they have these new cases like asking, how old? You were saying how old? They need to go for these courses.
I was saying, they need to be 16 in order to take the license.
Yeah, the normal basic traffic rules like riding license, the traffic rules, the simple basic driving rules, like how we actually
know which pathway is supposed to go.
Correct, and like how to overtake, going slow or fast like that, sharp turning point, blind spot.
I don't think overtake is recommended.
Yeah,
it's not recommended.
Especially blind spot.
Oh yeah, blind spot. But I don't see a majority of the scooters. There's no side mirror. There's no side mirror, so I don't think.
I have. Okay.
A special scooter have. Okay, so that's the thing I think. But the thing in majority, I think, right, comparing scooter and car, right, they ban scooter instead. You know why? Because things has happened, include like fire in the house, knocking people down, a lot of accidents, riding on roads, especially. That's the most major problems.
Okay, let's be fair. When you mentioned riding on roads, let's be fair. Okay, for us safety riders, right, like us, right, we of course we will value our life, so we just ride safely and enjoy the rides, correct? But as you mentioned just now, some people they purposely ride on the road. They are endangering not just to themselves, but they're also endangering to other users. So the penalty for them, let's be fair is you have to apply penalty to those who actually violates the traffic rules especially for those like they ride, overtake SBS bus on the right hand side.
A lot. Majority a lot. But the thing is, why is car is not banned? But the thing is,
You mean when car met with accident, they are not banned? They
each
get
day there's two.
So sometimes they will be banned for driving for how many years? But after that, they still can retake their license again.
Only for some people will get banned because currently Singapore has CCTV, strict CCTV, and they're able to capture their license easily.
Depending on situations depending on situations But as mentioned, even if like encouraging those like PMDs riders to go for this basic license course, right? To me, I find that it benefits them in a way because actually they have nothing to lose. Because you know why? When they got hold of the basic traffic rules using PMDs, right? So next time when they go for their class 2 or class 3 license, right, they already know beforehand So it helps them to, benefits them to get their license even much more easier than before. Because now, as years ago, right, when you go for this kind of class 2, class 3 license, right, the basic or the final theories, right, when you have 5 questions wrong, then everything like fail, stuff like that. But now since they are giving this, okay, let's put it this way. Since now they are going to try out, maybe they're going to try out, implement P&D's user to use, to go for this basic course, I think it benefits them in advance also, right? In advance, like, they know the traffic rules, so next time when they want to apply for class 2 or class 3, much more easier for them to get the license, right? Because they already know the basic rules, right?
True or something.
And then you were saying caught fire, right? Okay, this one we have to prepare. How do you maintain your charger? Share with the audience. How do you maintain your battery life when after you use you go home and charge?
Depending on what battery you're using. There's a safety cert. It's a UL2722. It's a safe bet. Safe battery to use them. But the thing is, depending on charger, what type of charger. Because there's the type of charger, right? It will show red, green. So when you plug in, right, it will be both red, right? Once it's full, right, it's automatic. It will switch off the LED to green.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's one of the safety charger, I would say, because
to indicate that it's fully charged.
Yes, it's automatic. Automatic switch off the power. No, it's like a fuse inside. Yeah, to cut off the charging.
So I assume and presume that you don't actually sleep while charging your.
You explode if you're using correct proper stuff.
Okay, so you're using the correct proper kind of battery.
Yeah, some.
Okay. But my advice for you to share with you even my battery, right, is also safety user kind of battery. But normally what I did is, right, okay, I don't normally use till my battery goes flat before I charge the whole thing, because it will take longer time. It will take like longer time to charge, to fully charge the battery.
Yeah.
So normally for me it's like, okay, if I use like a few kilometers, okay, like one battery less, totally my battery lifespan, there are 5 bars. So 1 bar down, when I reach home, I will just charge the 1 bar. And then, to be honest with you, I have never tried charging my E-Scooter while I'm sleeping, because like I said, it's a gift from my grandfather, so I really value this E-Scooter a lot. So I will also make sure the lightings for the battery turns green before I go to sleep. I will just unplug. So I mean, it's something to share lah. I mean, we spend money on it.
Yeah, there's something share.
Yeah,
care about. But the thing is, if you cost so much, okay, my battery itself is really 1,000.
Your battery itself?
Yeah, it's 1,400.
This is external battery, right?
This is not external battery. This is main battery.
Main battery.
Yeah.
It's 1,400.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's 1,400.
Yeah, 1,400. It's a good battery and
how much?
And it's safety.
Okay.
Yeah, and so let's say we are charged, right, you want to explode because there's a fuse in it. So let's say if it's overcharged, right, you break the fuse.
Okay.
You break the fuse, right, you won't charge already. You won't charge anymore. So the charger will spoil instead of the battery start to explode and you're bloated.
How long have you been using your E-Scooter?
How long? This or my starting point of life using E-Scooter.
Okay, this itself.
This itself, I would say around 8 to 9 months.
8 to 9 months.
Yeah, close to 1 year. Yeah.
Mine almost the same duration period like yours. I just got it last year. Yeah, I got it last year. And then I have not modified anything at all. It's very original. Yeah, because there's no point for me to modify. Yeah. And then I only add on the side mirrors and the side pouch, that's all. That's what I did.
Yeah, I find that your side pouch
looks like mini Harley Davidson. you know, even when I'm stopping at the traffic junction, right? Some motorbike riders, especially Malay abangs, they will say, "Hey bro, your E-Scooter looks nicer than mine, like mini Harley Davidson." I say, "Oh really?" They say because you got carpet. Yeah, but I find that yours is cute also.
Yeah. Can.
And how many E-Scooters have you had before?
I had
since
before.
starting. Yeah.
Starting
Speedway 4 using?
Speedway 4 is the first one. I would say second one will be Dualtron.
Dualtron.
Yeah, Dualtron.
You use the Dualtron as well.
Yeah, Dualtron.
Yeah,
Then afterwards will be Fido, which is red color.
Okay.
Red color. Then before that, this is the last one.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the last one.
This is the fourth one.
Yeah, this is the fourth one.
No wonder you are a very safe rider there.
Oh, why?
Normally people who change different e-scooter means that they know how to value it using, spending that amount to chase the new one. And at the same time, we have been using it for so long. Obviously, you know what is the danger, especially when, like you mentioned just now, the blind spot, the roundabout turn, we cannot see what is coming right in front of us. Sometimes it's not that we are not careless. Sometimes it's the other user, they are careless.
I would say all the members walking,
Yeah.
they always use phone. They always use phone, right? Then
They use phone, right? Handphone,
when we
right?
start to blame to them, right? They will say it's our fault for not watching them. But you're the one that use phone. You should see your way of walking, right?
Yeah.
You walk in front, then you shouldn't like turn to the right when you are riding on the left. And start to bang and collapse with each other and start blaming and the case start.
We have to be fair to everyone. I mean, those pedestrians walking on the street, right? I think for your own safety, please try not to look down at your handphone as you are walking. Especially when you're crossing the traffic lights. That's even worse. Yeah, that's even worse when you're crossing the T-junction traffic lights. Not just say walking at the footpath. For us, we can see you. We will horn at you. But what happens if some people, they are not as cautious as us? They don't care. They just go bypass you, and then things happen. Yeah, that's worse when things happen. So it's like follow. Okay, like I still have to mention, now when it comes to driving, right? We cannot use handphone. Am I right to say? Even like riding motorbikes, driving a car, you cannot use handphone, right? Can't even call. Yes. Why don't all of us apply the same, valid driving license technique on the roads? Whether you are walking, riding e-scooter, or riding a bike on the road, or driving a car, don't use a handphone. Everything will be safe as long as you use your eyes to see what is ahead of you. Everything will be safe. Am I right to say that?
Yeah.
Accident is caused by one side, to be honest. Definitely it will be caused by one side. Either they are very careless, like I mentioned. It's not that we are careless. Some people, they are careless. And then also I have to say that for PMD's user, when we use on the pedestrian footpath, we will receive like warnings, right? Correct. Warnings, right? Actually, I have a slight concern. I'm just sharing. What happens if pedestrians walk on PCN? Is there any warning? I'm just having this concern to balance up things, how to balance up things.
I feel like it's good to put in these rules. It's better. You know why? So of course, right, if there's no rules, right, the members of Singaporeans, they won't listen. They wouldn't listen. They will just go with the flow. How to say? Like let's say 10 members are walking PCN, then the others behind, right, was walking at the pedestrian and start to join them. PCN walking path. They will start to join.
I get what you mean.
So it's like
when they see one person walking on the PCN, the rest also follow them walking on the PCN.
It's a bad influencing.
Because for us, obviously, we will be sticking on the PCN. We won't go and make ourselves a fool to get into trouble. And then like I mentioned, we are not although both of us are PMD user, we are not trying to protect all PMD's user. We are not trying to say all PMD's users are correct. We just want to balance things out and make things fair. Some certain situations, I do believe Singapore has a very fair law upheld by the police, to be honest. So when things happen, they will know who's right and who's wrong because we have the CCTV all around. So if safety precaution people like us can follow rules like using the PCN, so I also seek the cooperation on some pedestrian. Please use your pedestrian walkway as well. So that you can enjoy your walk, we can enjoy our ride. So things will not happen. Most importantly, please do not use the handphone when you're walking. It's really dangerous. You might bump into each other. So at the same time, still have to make. You were mentioning wearing a mask riding.
Or during the current situation of
COVID-19.
Safety precaution. Just in case you want to get virus, right? You want to get virus, so. But it's not necessary to wear. if you're not sick.
Yes, correct.
And
Yes.
yeah, with those they are sick, right?
Only when you are sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
should wear.
Yeah.
Because it's important to
Yeah.
be a socialized
Yes,
person.
correct.
You know? Yeah.
Correct. When you're not sick, obviously you don't have to wear a mask. Yeah,
Okay.
unless if you are like not feeling well, it's possible to wear a mask. As my friend mentions, right, due to this COVID-19, as I mentioned earlier as well, keep a safe riding distance. Do not tailgate one another so close. What happens if the person in front of you jam brake? Then you sure will bump into each other. Keep a safe
Yeah,
distance.
true.
Yeah, not just for the COVID-19 issue, for the safety issue. At the same time, at the same point, the same reason applies. You know, keep a safety riding distance. Yeah, keep a safety distance as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then one last thing to share on COVID-19. Yeah, one last thing to share.
So what's the thing I should?
You know, they were mentioning the screening parts at airport, passengers coming to Singapore, the machine that screens for temperature, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, few days back, I was having some discussion talks with my friends. I was saying, how come hospitals, polyclinics, you know, Changi airports, they have this system to screen whether which passengers or which humans have this fever symptom, like red color, they're having fever or something like that.
It's an
infrared. Yeah, okay.
It's an infrared.
So I'm thinking, how come, guess what I want to ask?
What?
How come our train companies doesn't have this system to be applied at the station control? Especially, you know why I say that? Okay, especially morning and evening peak hours, the train is really jam-packed like sardine cans.
Oh, it's mass gathering.
Yeah. And then my concern is, right, when I am in the morning peak hours or evening peak hours trains, right, at this period of COVID-19, I will wear a mask because it's really jam-packed. And then you know, some customer service ambassadors, right, they will say, please move inside. Okay, at this kind of crisis, when all people, yes, they move inside, more passengers can come in.
Yeah.
But what happens if most passengers are not wearing a mask? What happens if someone is feeling unwell? Nobody knows. So I was thinking, how come they don't have this technique, you know, the system to screen for temperature at every station control? So it helps because, you know why? If let's say if one of the passengers on the MRT cabins, right, found out to have this COVID-19 issue, then they will trace back what train. You know, do you think they can trace back which passengers get in contact with this person on the same cabin at this time? It's difficult to trace.
Yeah, I would say that communication.
Interruption. Don't you think it makes sense? You think back. You see, if let's say suddenly this patient is being found out to have COVID-19, right? So he or she will sure say that, oh, I took this train from this station to that station at the morning hours, this time to that time. But then the problem is that he or she might not know which cabin number he or she is in. You know, there's a cabin number, obviously no one will take note. And then how are they going to trace who are the passengers getting in close contact with this person? Very difficult to trace. So I was thinking, how come they can have this system used on like polyclinics, hospital and Changi airport, but they cannot use it on the MRT station?
No, because you know, okay, the most major problem, right, will be airport. You know, because right, throughout all the countries, right, you might not know that those that come to Singapore, right, they might contain with the virus. And right, let's say if they're able to enter, right, your cause of communicate, you know, like those community spreads. Yeah, it's a transmission from
As I mentioned,
human to a human.
As I mentioned, it goes the same for trains.
Yeah, but the train is
But that's even difficult to trace, If let's say
it's difficult to trace. But currently, it's surprising. There's no.
Don't have.
Yeah, because of the.
Sounds fair. Do you think it's advisable for them to come up with this thing as well? Because it actually will help to benefit all of us there.
Yeah, it is advisable.
They don't spend much time. You see, you get the point why I'm saying that, because you see, when they're putting the system at this Changi airport on every boarding gates, right? So you know the number of passengers that come out from the aircraft, right, is much more higher than MRT passengers.
Yeah,
but so when they come out, they don't actually store a lot of time. They will just see which person have red, fever, stuff like that. why can't they use the same system at every station so that they still can see, if this fever is having fever, so this person is having fever, they might stop him from entering the train.
Yeah lah, but okay, look like putting in train right, some okay, you know, in the morning right, they will be crowded right, because there's a lot of people right, because like they are going for work, but let's say right, if there's one person that contains with the virus right, I don't think right, okay, you know if you're having fever, you wouldn't take train go to somewhere, you will stay home right.
But some people, they are very selfish.
Okay,
yeah.
Right there is a sharp turn blind spot, so we need to dismount and push for now. Okay, so while we are pushing, there's a staircase here, some pedestrians will walk down and we need to push, and maybe there's a mirror for us to see.
Okay, as mentioned earlier just now, this is the second place we are doing some examples, and we did show the examples just now, the blind spot, sharp turn, and then we push over here at the tunnel, stuff like that. Okay, so once again, we just like to share to the viewers that for stations, train stations, right, quite advisable for them if they can, like, you know, have that how to say, capital to install that screening machine at every single station during the morning peak periods and evening peak periods hours, so that it will be better in a way lah, to, you know, deter this kind of like CV19, you know, instead of spreading them throughout the whole cabins, and that's even worse, right? And I think it's quite difficult to trace if one passenger on board each cabin is being, you know, suspected to have this CV19, and then he or she will just say, oh yeah, I boarded this train at this hour, but he or she doesn't know the cabin number. Then how are they going to trace who are the passengers that have this ride with them throughout the morning or evening peak periods? Difficult to trace, that's even worse.
Yeah, true.
I mean, and some of this money like 不可以省, right? Cannot be saved.
Yeah, it's can't be saved.
And it can be used for future use of the machine.
Yeah, for future use, but I don't think people want the virus to happen again.
Yeah, true, of course. Yeah. But meantime, we have to really do all means, by all means, to put the virus to a stop.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Okay, and then last but not least, right? Just now earlier on we were sharing that, you know, since we also like advisable that for those like users, if they want to continue to use their safety PMDs, right, to go for the super basic courses, right, the driving courses, right? Yeah. So I think it benefits them. Actually, they have nothing to lose, because when they get hold of the basic traffic rules and regulations, right, theory, they can use this on the PCN safely. At the same time, it also benefits them in another way that, you know, when they go for their class 2 or class 3, it actually helps them to get their license much more easier next time. Yeah. And then lastly, right, we like to say that all of us spend money purchasing e-scooter, at least 4 digits of above.
Mine is 5 digits.
5 digits.
I'm looking at 4 digits.
Oh, okay. And then so since we invested money to purchase our PMD, right, at least 1,000 plus, yeah, then advisable to use it wisely lah. If you touch wood, you know, how to say, met with mishap, these things spoil, go for repair, it's even worse.
Yeah, cause pricey.
Yeah, the repair is pricey, right?
It's pricey, but I need to have money to maintain, so if you want to use scooter.
Yeah. And then safety precaution lah, just a gentle reminder highlights. Do not sleep and charge at the same time. Yeah. I do aware that some delivery guys, they are tired lah, but still not advisable to do that lah. Yeah. And then
for safety.
Yeah, for safety, yeah.
Safety precaution.
Yeah. And you see, like, we can use it in a safety precaution manner, right? So we can use it more often and enjoy the fun, the rides, more longer days than usual. But what happens if you're reckless? You just, like, for the sake of showing off, you know, just one turn and that's it. That's the end of your life. You cannot see tomorrow's dawn. That's even worse. And then what else? Yeah, touch wood. What else I want to share is keep a safe distance, like you mentioned, right? Put the CV19 to a stop, right? Yeah. Be it whether there is a CV19 issue or not, we still have to keep a safe riding distance between one another. Do not tailgate lah. So, but then at this crisis, CV19 is best to keep a distance as well. Yeah. Then the last thing that I want to share is people with the valid Class 2 or Class 3 license, if you can apply the same techniques into riding PMBs on PCN, everything works wonders. So the last part, before we end this vlog, let my friend say something to you guys. Okay, so I will leave the last segment to my friend for him to say.
Okay, so there's not on your right side there's a bell for you to click to like, share, maybe subscribe to his channel to look for more of the videos upcoming soon. And thanks for watching.
And follow my Facebook and my Instagram. It will be stated below. Press the bell is to receive notifications, so when I have new vlogs coming up, then you guys will get notifications. And then, like he mentioned, please help to subscribe my channel and like my channel, and then share to your friends and family. Yeah, we will definitely have more other vlogs outing when we can reach.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys in the next vlog.
Alright, see you. Bye.
新冠肺炎 Q&A， 病毒四圍飄，遲早會中招？唔會，病毒要附住重重嘅水點先至可以飛，自己唔能夠飛㗎。病毒冇腳、冇翼、冇牙，唔能夠穿過你嘅皮膚嘅。最重要呢，就係你如果摸到有病毒嘅環境，只要洗手同埋消毒，病毒就會消失㗎啦。同戴咩類型嘅口罩先至能預防呢？係冇關係嘅。一齊圍爐開 party 會中招？唔係，緊密接觸先至會中招㗎。如果口水好似浪花咁樣四濺呢，又摸到自己眼口鼻，當然會中招啦。緊密接觸係講緊大約6尺，都係嗰句，接觸咗都唔怕㗎。洗咗手最好就加埋消毒，先摸自己嘅眼口鼻就冇事㗎啦。熱力呢係可以殺死病毒嘅，冇可能食咗已經煲滾嘅火鍋而中招㗎喎。打麻雀會中招，你明點解㗎啦？口水又四圍噴，你又上佢又碰，食糊就更加興奮啦。戴咗 N95 就唔會中招？當然唔係啦，冇做霧化程序 ，N95 係唔會俾你額外嘅保護㗎。原因係 N95 係用嚟防止空氣傳染，但係呢隻病毒呢唔係用空氣傳染㗎喎，反而呢你個 N95 戴得唔舒服，然後呢又不斷用你隻污糟手去整嚟整去，反而就增加感染嘅風險啦。用外科口罩就等於保護不足？點會呢？再講一次預防嘅方法，只要唔俾病毒經你污糟手碰到眼口鼻，或者俾人直接向你噴口水花，真正保護呢係企遠啲同埋經常洗手。有咳又有打乞嗤，咁就已經中咗病毒？有咳又有打乞嗤，唔一定感染病毒㗎，但應該立即戴口罩，而且要即刻睇醫生。預防你已經係帶菌者喎。密閉空間點算好？喺密閉嘅環境裏邊，例如升降機裏邊或者公共交通工具裏邊，最好就係戴翻個口罩啦。因為就算有病毒，又或者冇病毒都好，人同人之間係好難相距6尺㗎。病毒能夠穿牆過壁？當然唔係啦，一塊膠片，一條膠圍裙，一副眼鏡已經阻隔有餘㗎啦。重新再講多次，因為你對手碰咗有病毒嘅物件，跟住又唔洗手喎，就摸眼口鼻，先至會感染㗎，並唔係因為病毒厲害到穿牆過壁。希望你睇咗之後就可以明白更加多，咁就唔使驚，注意個人衛生，咁就可以好好保護到自己同屋企人㗎啦。
下集預告，我同男朋友燭光晚餐，包咗成間餐廳。
你可以從不見得隔掉嘛。
究竟我男朋友叫我剪咗咩去呢？咁就記得請睇埋落去下集咯喎，我哋下集見啦〜